Hey there, I'm Caden Rains and welcome to my basement. Today we're looking at the Animated Sewer 2.0 pop-up diorama from Extreme Sets. This is a display set for action figures and the like, and it's definitely not the sewer lair of any mutated terrapins. I managed to find this on sale a couple months ago, and I've just been waiting to get the chance to put together because while other brands' dioramas can be really cool looking, they can also be very expensive. And as much as I'd like a lot of things I see online, that's not always a go for my wallet. So when I saw this on sale and saw what it included, I thought I'd give it a try. And now I can finally see what's going on with it. So this is made up of several parts that can be rearranged to your liking. There's 4 main walls. This carpet piece, or tatami, I believe is the type of material it's imitating. And then a large floor mat here at the bottom, as well as a divider and a TV. But let's look at each piece individually, all right? Well, carpet, it's just a piece of cardboard. They're all pieces of cardboard, but this is one of the most simple pieces. So put it under a couch, which is my plan. So it's just sort of there, as carpets kind of are, but it's neat that it's there. Now, for the rest of them, getting it out of the way, we've got the other 2 decorations. We've got this little TV, which might look familiar to certain Terrapin fans. And it's, again, it's all cardboard, but it's all pretty good quality. It's thick enough that I don't feel like if I accidentally smash into it with like an action figure, it's going to collapse or anything. And it gets the look that you expect it to have. This whole set is from their Animated series line, so it's got that animated look. Everything does. And then finally, we've got this room divider over here. I don't know if I got a mistaken, it's not broken, isn't the word I want to use, but in the instructions, it lists 1 room divider with 4 sections, and mine is 2, and if it broke very cleanly, so maybe I got a very clean miscut, but it's fine. I don't even know if I'm going to keep these up in the final, and if I do, as you saw a second ago, you can still stand them up, and from afar you can't really tell, so it's not really a big deal. I think they look nice though. They get that Japanese aesthetic, and that's the ninja in the Terrapins line. So then we've got these 4 wall sections. There are 2 flat, or what I'm calling flat, where the main piece of cardboard here in the middle, and then 2 column pieces at the edge. Now, you see it wobbling a bit, and that's actually because of the floor piece. Because this is cardboard, it can warp, and mine came out like this. Now, luckily for me, the shelf I'm going to put it on was never going to fit this cardboard, this floor piece. If I do anything with it, I'll be cutting it to put along the shelf, and I'm not certain I'm even going to do that. So if the walls wobble as I go through them, don't blame that on the construction, because from what I've seen while they've been on just the flat table here, they are pretty sturdy. But I just wanted to point that out so it's not something that acts like I'm ignoring. But so this one, we've got like computer stuff, maybe like computer, maybe one of these is supposed to be some kind of DVD player or modem or something, but pipe printing, again, it's got that animation style, and all the brick is in an animation style. The other wall flat section is this one with the ladder, and while it has much less, design elements besides brick, it does have this ladder, which again is just another piece of cardboard that's folded, but it goes all the way around. Well, the top and bottom do, so that it's more secure than just slipping in. So far, this thing's not, that ladder's not going anywhere. You'd have to either slide it out or cut it out or break it. There are then two wall sections, two hold wall sections that are much thicker. This is considered the small hole wall. And I consider it sort of another room divider, like a big one, but they specifically note in the instructions, they don't specifically note to add the extra wall piece to the back, which we'll see in the next one. But like the piece of flooring cardboard, the inner circle part did get a little warped from the way it was packaged. Now, it's again one of those things I don't think is going to stand out much once I've got it into place. And it's not like the worst, especially from this side. I think it's less noticeable over here, still a little bit. So that is a little bit of a bummer. But again, this is a piece of cardboard that I got on sale. So while I'm minorly disappointed, I'm also not expecting, manufactured plastic that's, usually costs hundreds of dollars. It's apples to oranges, okay? So this wall I think is pretty neat. I haven't decided if it's going to go at one end or the other yet, but it's probably going to divide the section I'm going to use this diorama from the next section of shelving. So in that way, the figures can pass through if they want. The final wall is the big hole wall, or the large hole wall, and it works basically the same. There's a piece of cardboard around the edge that you slip into the overall piece of cardboard, and that creates the tunnel effect. And you can take this back wall out to be passed through the way the first one is, and maybe I'll do that, but I kind of wanted a nook. I thought having a nook would be nice, and this one is what the instructions suggest for you to do. So I just decided to go with that for now and leave the other wall with a hole open for the time being. So while not perfect, this is a much more affordable diorama setup than, say, NECA's sewer lair. And that's no shade to NECA's sewer lair. I've never seen one in person, but all the pictures I've seen of it are nice. But for something that normally is $70 and goes on sale to almost half that every so often, I feel like this is a fair collection of parts. Oh, and there's one extra column that you can put wherever. So, bonus. So if you're looking for something for like a sewer lair for certain terrapins, I don't think this is a bad choice. There are another set they have called another series they have called the Display series, I believe. And I've been looking at those. I wanted to put this one together first, but they're smaller overall. And while they're designed for a certain type of IKEA shelving, I think they'll fit with my shelving as well. So that's something that may come in the future. But now that we've seen all the parts that come with the Animated Sewer 2.0 pop-up diorama, let's go add it to the shelf and see how it looks there. All right, so for now, based on my shelves as I finally got the pieces down here, I'm just going to use these two backing flat pieces along with the room dividers, the TV, and the carpet for this area. I'm also using the extra pillar, but that's just kind of to save space. And I will probably put these two nook pieces up here as I get ready to reset some of this area. And that way it'll be kind of a cohesive image from afar, at least. I would still like to use those pieces. And it's really just the fact that they stick out over the edge of my shelving. And I should have taken that more into consideration when I was thinking about where they would go. But for now, we've got a little setup that will be expanded upon. We've got Shaggy chilling with his best friend, Jack Skellington, who he's not at all freaked out about. Here's that table I showed before from some of the Halloween figures. And I got this couch from the same place, from Hobbit Lobbit. And mostly I just did that because they're cheap. I don't really have any thoughts about the location itself, but this is 1/12 scale stuff that works with what I've got. And if I want to upgrade, I've seen things on Amazon and other places that are higher quality, but for what I'm doing at the moment, these two pieces work. And I have another brand that I'll be going into as I expand this part of the shelf, because I do want this section to be like a diorama. I want it to be a little scene, not just stopping with Shaggy and Jack Skellington, who I just didn't want to put away. But, you know, since this is from a sewer lair, it might be good to get some sewer residents going on down here. If only I knew 4 radical dudes or more who would fit at home in this kind of environment. Well, I'll just have to think on that and figure out who else can go down here. And if you have any suggestions or guesses about who I might add as I go along, you know, leave a comment down below. But also let me know if you think that this diorama set from Extreme Sets is interesting at the very least. Obviously, because of the shelving size that I happen to be using, the usefulness is limited a bit because I don't want it to fall off, or it just looks janky to leave it like that, which is why I might make it the back to some stuff over here. After all, the first time we ever saw Koopas was in a sewer setting, so that might not be too off the wall to do that, but we'll see. I haven't decided. But anyway, like I said, let me know down below what you think. And regardless, I hope you had a good time in my basement, and I'll see you in the next one.